I've had time to stitch, and at the same time as I've had time to stitch, I've had the energy and enthusiasm to stitch, so I have so much to show you this time. I'm Michelle, this is my romantic tangle, and I have been working on projects. It's calling it a rotation would be quite a stretch, but something vaguely approaching a rotation that seems to really be working for me right now, so let's just go with that and be happy with it. I've been working on Pink Dahlia. This is the no count cross stitch I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby a couple of years back. It is big, but it is also 10 count, so I think it looks bigger than it is. My goal was to finish a quarter of it each month, and then I could get this done. I've got my quarter done for July, which means that I am gonna start working down here. The center is fiddly. The petals are easy. The center is a lot more involved. So I'm gonna work on the center for the rest of the month to set myself up for an easy goal for next month. And of course I could utterly change my mind, decide I am sick of this and work on something else, and I'm fine with that too. I have been doing this on an 11-inch Q snap, and I really once again have to recommend these Dollar Tree jumbo Ziploc bags. They're a knockoff of the Ziploc big bags. There's enough room in here for your Q snap with your project, your chart. It'll keep everything from getting smudged by whoever is using your sewing corner to do whatever they do in it when you are not there. That is one of the great mysteries I have not solved, along with why my camera is at a totally different height than it was yesterday. Yes, a lovingly stitched fabric project bag would be better, but this is what I have right now, and I need to find some more of these to put my other Q snaps in because I think it really is saving my projects. Last time I showed you Dimensions Down Memory Lane and told you I was going to work on it. Stamped cross stitch is harder than I thought it would be. There is a lot more counting than I thought there would be. It is hard to get my X's the right size because the spot I want to put my needle through is often exactly where a thick thread on the fabric is, and this is kind of kicking my butt. But I've also got a lot done, and I am bound and determined to finish it. First, it was because I want to stitch all the Wysocki stuff I can stitch. And then the more I worked, the more fun I was having. It is more challenging than I expected. If you can see around this window here, those lines are where the back stitching is, but there's other stuff going on here that the only way to figure out what color goes where is to look at the chart, and I don't know why I find counting stitches from a chart onto a grid of pre-printed X's harder than doing it on a blank piece of Ada, but I do. And I've just got all the respect in the world for the stitchers who were doing these projects back in 1991 when this kit came out, long before the internet, before people could post pretty videos showing you exactly how to do it. People have been making these kits for decades, and they've been doing it, I think for the most part, without a whole lot of someone else holding their hand and showing them what to do. So if they can do it, I can do it, right? Maybe something. I've been working on Freedom Salt Box. I don't always have the color of fabric that she has when she designs these. I need to find a darker tea-dyed sort of looking Ada and just buy a ton of that, but that's not going to happen. And so sometimes I change the colors of elements. There was a white basket that I redid in gray, a couple of salt box houses again. This time I had my eagle. And I didn't really want to backstitch around just the head of just the eagle because I thought that would look funny. So what I have decided to do is I did the eagles in 3 strands. So he would stand out more texturally against the background fabric. And I'm justifying that by saying when I see real bald eagles outside, and I do frequently, you can't always see their head contrasting perfectly against the sky. And it's not like I'm likely to frame this and hang it on my wall anyway, so my eagle is looking realistic. I said I was going to work on Beacon at Daybreak. I worked on Beacon at Daybreak once. I don't dislike Beacon at Daybreak. It's challenging confetti, and that's fine, but I'm having more fun with my other projects. And when I hold this up and it looks huge, these are muslin strips I put on it so it'll fit in my 11-inch Q stamp. I'll work on it, just not today. I was looking for a salt box house that I had printed out for our coast trip last year and bought floss for our coast trip last year, and then not done because autumn was over and it was Christmas. And do you have seasonal projects that kind of fall by the wayside like that? I did not find the salt box, but I did find furry friends. I was driving myself nuts looking for furry friends when I was trying to find focus projects because I think this would be a good one. The stacks of books are in a lot of cases lines of one color making the pages and the covers, so this looked like it would be a good piece to work on for that, and I could not find it. I thought I had more done than I have done. You get that phenomenon where you pick up a project and either you're way farther than you remember being or you're not nearly as far as you were. I had packed this for the coast last year and it was still in the project bag, and that is the one place, of course, that I did not think to look for it. Because why not? Just Cross Stitch Halloween issue is out. I'm thinking of Halloween things. Also in the bag for my trip to the coast was Creepy Cross Stitch, so now I've got lots of options for something for Halloween. I have a lot of Halloween ideas that fell by the wayside as the seasons changed last year. It did not help that I got sick as a dog on our coast trip. So I'm just kind of looking at the options, stitching away on what I'm stitching on. The family is about to plunge into a more eventful couple of weeks, all in a good way, but it probably will mean I'm going to slow down my stitching just a bit for a couple of weeks, and hopefully when I have time to plunge back in, I'll have the energy to do it with. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle, and I'm going to go cross stitch.